Yeah, cool. That's fine. Alright, well, I suppose it's a test anyway.
Yeah.
Hello guys, welcome to the Godsend Saga, a long-form video. There's a bit more time to ramble on about our books, huh?
Yes, and for me to stumble over words.
Yeah, you can't speak. You really can't speak.
That's why I'm a writer.
You've got to see, if you've like come from our short-form videos, oh my, the amount of takes that this man requires to get through those.
I'm a one-taker. I've never done more than one.
It's woeful. It's so bad. But anyway, enough of that. The Godsend Saga.
Yes.
Novels. That's what we're here to talk to you about and start some... Basically, what I wanted from this is not really a diary, but a journey. You know? Like... Because we're starting off at the very beginning of becoming authors.
Absolutely.
Right? But the goal is... I mean, to go as far as we can. Like, how many books we got planned? Like...
Let me count. 70-ish?
Yes.
Off the top of the head?
Something like that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of books planned. And we just want to bring you guys through our journey. Because it's going to be pretty silly. There's a lot of... We've got some stupid stuff planned, eh? Like... The amount of drives we're doing to conventions this year, we're going Melbourne, Sydney. We're based in Brisbane. That's a 9-hour drive there and back. 18 if we do Melbourne. And because we've got so much stuff to take with us, that involves taking a van. That's a long way. So, might as well record some content for it, you know?
Absolutely.
Give an insight if anyone else wants to become an author out there or is enjoying our books, which, you know, we appreciate all the support so far.
Absolutely.
You know, you can kind of see what it's like for us to like genuinely try and become authors. You know, we're not starting halfway up.
We're starting at the bottom.
But you know, believe in our work still.
Absolutely. We have lofty goals, and we are going to put in the work to get there.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, and I just want to keep it pretty casual, like pretty open, pretty honest. Like, there's not really going to be any scripting or, you know, we just want to give you an honest insight into what it's like to write novels. And you might be asking yourself, why would you pick a dying art form? And I would say to that, good question. Shut up. We don't bring that kind of negativity around here.
To give a more factual answer, drawing takes too long.
Yeah, this was originally meant to be like a manga thing, but then I developed the plot, made it a lot more novel-centric. But, like, I still feel like shonen anime especially has kind of gripped hold of a lot of young people in the storytelling, taking way more from people reading books.
I feel like that's like the main form of media these days almost.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, especially amongst younger people, like young adult audience that we're trying to sort of at least delve into a little bit. I mean, it's definitely a key market of ours. But... They're kind of taking a lot more to anime and that sort of thing. So I think there's definitely things to be taken from like that storytelling style.
Absolutely.
You know, the growth, the progression, the wide cast of characters. You know, even the slightly I don't want to say cornier, but
even just like zany.
Yeah, like those sort of over the top elements that feel a bit larger than life. You can capture that while also still writing a very grounded novel. At least that was the theology that I told Samuel to get him involved in this project.
Big mistake.
Yeah, you're an idiot, bro. You just locked yourself into like 70 books worth of writing and editing and all that sort of a thing, you know? So you're dumb. Dumb as hell.
You know that movie Yes Man?
Yeah, that's you. Yeah.
Don't be Yes Man.
Yeah, he's a yes man. Well, no, he's not, because he questions every single idea that I put forward under like a fine-tooth comb. It irritates me to no end. But you do need that.
Yeah.
Especially in like a co-authoring thing, which is a bit unorthodox as is.
Our co-authoring process is more like you take the writing forefront and I'm more the editorial forefront at this current stage.
Yes, but it's not like editing is you're just checking for grammar. What it is my issue is I have a lot of ideas.
Some would say too many.
Yeah, that's how we've ended up with like 70-something books planned. When I say planned, I mean like planned out. Character arcs, themes, plots, everything's planned out. It's just about writing them. But the issue is I write But once I'm in the zone, I write, it all gets on a page, and then I'm done with it because I just kind of keep going. And that's where I need Sam, because Sam goes back through and reads it and goes, well, hang on, you got to be excited here, and you've left out entire swathes of information. And that needs to be filled in. So then he'll go and fill it in, and he'll add description where I've missed it. You know, if I need to reiterate something, maybe I need to tone back on something. So it's less grammar editing, and it's more editing the actual story to make sure it's cohesive and, like, you know, runs together. But if he ever mentions prose again, I promised to slap the shit out of him. So he can't be doing that anymore.
But prose is very important, and I am very good at dodging.
I swear to God, you are infuriating. You don't understand what it's like to work with this man. I pray you never will. He's a wonderful, wonderful author. Just the worst human being imaginable. just the worst. All of our villains, I've based off Sam. So if you hate them, which you should, blame him. Because
disclaimer, not true.
That is true. It's absolutely true. You're despicable. But I figured for this first video, you know, we've kind of give you a bit of an insight into what we're going to be doing. Over the coming videos, I'm sure we'll break down the project itself, what we're doing, where we're going with it. You know, kind of really give you guys an insight into the writing process, the editing process, and also the self-publishing process, because we got no time for publishers. They want to ruin everyone's work. I stand by that, and I will never go back on that. So any publishers out there,
hit us up.
any publishers out there, no.
I'll take it.
I will not. Leave my work alone. Stop telling me that I need to change things. Because I've got a story plan and a story to write. And
what did you have me here for again? Was it to change things?
Oh yeah. But you're not going to also put us through publishing hell where we've got to wait in a queue for 3 years before we ever see. That doesn't work for us, right? Like, all well and good, right? Because I wouldn't want to discourage anyone else from going down the sort of publishing route.
Absolutely.
But the problem is for us is 70-something books. As of now, there are a lot of side stories as well that we want to write. But if we get told that we've got to wait 2 to 3 years between each one, the project's never getting finished.
I mean, even more just like our background. Neither of us have studied writing.
Oh, yeah. that's right.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Two young adults in trying to make ground on this is...
It's tough.
It's tough, and it's not what safe publishing companies are going to look for.
No, absolutely not.
We are very much a risk, and...
Yeah, I've been described as a lot of things. Let's say 10 things, and risk is 9 of them. and if this video has cuts, you'll understand why. But yeah, like the publishing route is it's good for a lot of people, but just because of the sheer volume that we've got to write to tell the whole story, because we can't not tell parts of it.
I mean, like, again, another thing is like Brandon Sanderson, who I am a very big fan of, our rival.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna beat the shit out of him.
We are gonna surpass him in our writing skills
and physically. I lift more than him.
I will. The pen is heavier than the sword, they say.
Yeah, and I can lift both and wield both simultaneously.
But in his start, he published 6 books before one was actually picked up by a publishing company, and we are very committed to this being our book.
Yes,
and we 100%. Believe it has the legs to carry the distance.
100% it does.
It's a hard sell to sell 70 books from 2 young, untrained authors.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, you've got to sell the whole project, because if we get the plug pulled at any stage in the journey, it's kind of all for nothing. Because this is one cohesive timeline, right? All of the events roll into another. Now, it is going to be set out in such a way that it's broken up into individual series. Like our first series, Revolt, right? That's going to be a series that has 20... Yeah, just forget about it. That's going to be like 20-something books, right? Around that, 15 to 20, right? Split up into 7 arcs. Now, that is a contained story. And we're going to have other series. Let's, at a guess, up to 10 series, right? Like at a guess.
Very up in the air at the moment.
Yeah, because some of them might turn into one-shots and that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But each of those series will be totally contained. Like right now I'm working on a separate novel, which is a, believe it or not, an old Western, which is a big...
change up.
A big change from the more...
almost sci-fi
fantasy, but like utopian with also a dystopian element as well. It's, it's hard to kind of put a finger on the...
And yeah, you wouldn't think Western fits into that, would you?
No, but it does. And it's using one of the characters from here. And I think once you delve into the world, you get a bit of an idea as to how that is. But, I mean...
Well, that's sort of the thing. We've got this main series planned and the other ones that continue on from it. And we want to write our standalone novels, but that tie back into the main series.
Yeah.
Where you can read them by themselves.
Yes.
But if you read them with the main series, it's just a lot more.
No, exactly. Like that Western novel that I'm writing, you could just pick that up and once you're finished with it, be done with it, and never pick up anything else from the Godsend Saga again, and you'll be satisfied because it was a cohesive story. But then the further you read, you'll start to, see some of those characters pop up elsewhere in one capacity or another. And I think...
Or even to tease it a little further, that first chapter starts in a War Games match.
Yes, it does. And I think... because... I mean, look, as much as fun as it is to shit on the MCU and what it's become now, there was definitely a magic that it captured in the idea of, an interconnected world. But the way where they went wrong was it became mandatory viewing to understand everything that's going on.
Like, there's going to be an element of that with what we write. But
I don't believe...
to try and find that sweet spot from what it was to what it is now, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think you can't make it mandatory. It just enhances your experience, I think is the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
So, I think reading all the individual series will only make the Godsend Saga richer in lore for you. But at the same time, if you just pick up one of the series on its own, it's enough.
Yeah.
Right? And you can read them in any order because they're not reliant to follow on from each other. They'll be their own contained stories. They're just part of a bigger timeline. And I think that's the fun part.
Let's not say timeline, a grander universe.
Yeah.
Timeline's a bit of a tricky subject.
Yeah. We're not messing with the fabric of space and time too much.
This is not a multiverse story.
No, because that just ends up becoming too tropey. And I mean, I don't know about you, but as a writer, I hate the idea of variants of the same person. Just doesn't...
I mean, it can be done well,
it just doesn't intrigue me as a storytelling standard.
Yeah, to make it interesting is tough.
Yeah. There's nothing worse to me than whenever you go into, a movie or a novel, or whatever it might be, and the villain is just a carbon copy of the hero, but bad. Same abilities, same, just appearance and everything about them where it's like, oh, but they're the bad variant. That does my head in a little bit. They did a lot with Marvel and that sort of, you got Iron Man, Ironmonger. Yes, sure, different philosophies, that sort of a thing. But it just gets...
But hear me out.
Yeah, go on.
One was bigger.
Remember what I said about me wanting to commit acts of violence upon this man? It's things like that.
It was all hyperbole.
It wasn't. Someday... I'm going to be presenting this video alone. And you're going to wonder why. And it's because Sam's dead. And I've killed him. And people might look at that as a confession. So if he ever does go missing someday, I've basically arrested myself there. But if it's for the sake of Sam going missing, I'm willing to take that on.
Just you wait till you see my life insurance policy.
You wait till I put it all into business. I think, good catch. Something else fun could be to say. I mean, we're at the office, so we've got our own little office space out here. We both have regular jobs because we can't be authors just yet. It takes time. Someday we'll be proper authors, and that'll be our full-time job.
I mean,
but
we are professional authors now.
Technically,
we've earned money.
Earned money out of it. Let's go.
Yeah.
But as of right now, we both you're an engineer.
Yeah.
I run my own business, manga. So I stock and I sell manga. It's a bit of a...
Really? You like manga and anime?
Honestly, not as much since I started doing all this. I've really fallen off it.
Yeah.
These days, I get way more inspiration from movies and also music. I'm a big albums person, which is something I'm sure I'll talk about at some point through these videos. Because, I mean, a lot of this is logging our journey, whether, 100 people watch it, 10 people watch it, or 1 million people watch it. It's like, whether it's like, I still want to log our journey, and this is kind of like the first step, right? It's as raw as it gets, it's as honest as it gets. Bit of a podcast, there'll be a lot more vloggy type stuff, like when we go to Comic-Con, SupaNova, that sort of thing. But, why don't we have a bit of a look around the office? Because so downstairs is my manga business. However, upstairs, that's the Godsend Saga offices. Because we figured
Godsend Saga Studios, as I'm now calling it.
Offices. We don't we record these shitty little videos. We don't.
We are a studio.
We're not filming nothing. No, but we write books, Sam. That's an office.
Is that a camera?
Oh, shut up. I hate you. I hate you with such a passion. You're insufferable. All right, well, we'll take you through a little bit of a tour of the offices. So yeah. All right, Sam, let's give people a bit of a tour of the office, hey?
Well, should we start with our little recording room first?
Yeah, so this is where we record. Artwork on the walls, and we've got more on the way. We'll keep you guys pretty updated on that. I really want to turn this space into something pretty engaging and pretty cool, fill this all out. We've got a little piece of art here that are cards of a lot of the characters, gladiators, who are warriors within our novel series, Revolt.
And once you guys get more familiar with the characters, we'll do a bit of stuff with them as well, like, your top Trump style games,
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of depth and a lot of things to explore when it comes to that, because it's, it revolves around fighting, and when people fight against each other, there's always that question of who will win, and that opens so many avenues and directions to go down. But got a copy of the novel just over here. Looks beautiful. Behind it, you got all the belts and whatnot. Ooh. So within our sport of war games, it's obviously a combat sport, and you need belts for it. Sam, go and chuck one on. Wear one for the rest of the video. There you go, mate. Undeserved, as per usual.
Champ.
A paper champion. That's all you are, mate. But then we get out here. So this is our office space right here. It's pretty empty right now. I kind of cleared it out.
Would you call it a work in progress?
Yeah, it's a bit of a work in progress. It needs expanding on a lot, but that's why we kind of emptied it all out,
I mean, we're going to be filling it up with all of our own stuff from what we're going to need for the convention.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
So, I mean, over here we got our little anime section. Some swords and stuff in there, which all look pretty cool.
Did you say you run a manga company?
Oh, shut up. Look, yeah, there's some Nendroids here. Some cool characters. Ones that I'll probably talk about at some point, because these characters all mean a little bit to me. Sam as well. Tokyo Revengers was the most recent one, but these two right here, Rockley and Gara, and then Guts as well, Big Nuts as we like to call him. He's definitely central in mine and Sam's. Yeah, it's Birkin time. It's Berserkin time. Then over here, we got a little delivery. We got this one today. This is some bookmarks and business cards for the convention. Look at some of these ones. Look at that. Look at that. You should, if you're somehow still in this video and you haven't, committed harm upon yourself, you should scan that QR code. Business card looks beautiful. And then we got some bookmarks as well. A whole bunch of unboxing that'll need to be done for these conventions. Plenty of stuff that needs to be done because it's going to be a pretty major operation. Then over here, we've got the space where I kick Sam's ass at Xbox, and we've got a TV over here. It's a pretty neat little zone because, sometimes we need time away, right? Needs to cool down from all the work and whatnot, the writing, the editing, the constant arguments, and me winning those arguments and all that sort of a thing, What was that? What? Got some sports equipment there. I'm a sporty guy. I like to get out, so it's just an easy place to store things like golf clubs, tennis rackets, boxing gloves, and that sort of a thing. If I ever need to zip out of work and take a break from beating up Sam and beat up a heavy bag instead, and Sam with a couple clothes and whatnot if need be. And then we got the office through here. So this is where all the actual work happens, right? We got a 3D printer, which we thought would be a super cool idea to at some point. Sam, you're in my chair, mate. This is your chair right here. You got the little bitch boy chair.
I'm the champ, mate. I'm the champ.
Sam, you're getting way too cocky. You need to be put in your place. But you got a 3D printer because we got so many unique characters. I mean, there's hundreds of them that all have like backstories and everything and really cool designs. So we thought at some point it'd be really cool to probably 3D print them, paint them up as a bit of a video series, but also just to have them because I think it'd be pretty cool. So this is Sam's little bitch boy chair. That's where he sits. Kind of beast chair though, not gonna lie. AEW Grand Slam metal chair. Loved that show. Loved it with all my heart. I'm a massive wrestling fan, which I'm sure you'll come to understand. But then over here, sitting in my chair...
The champ.
Shut up, mate. You're insufferable. And then, you know, this is where I write. So, you know, this is my setup. Over this side, I usually have some sort of video or music playing. And then over here is where I'm usually writing. I split screen it, notes on one side, writing on the other side. Who's that little freak? Oh, we don't need to worry about him. But yeah, that's pretty much the setup of the office. As you can tell, it's a beautiful view outside of a warehouse district.
Concrete and...
Yep.
More concrete.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, ballsack, did I just unplug something? Oh, I was just a fan, don't worry about it. That's all right.
A very precarious system you've got your computer working with.
Yeah, we thankfully haven't lost any work thanks to unplugging stuff, but come close. Google Docs is clutch for that. It's so good.
Yeah.
You know, power outages as well, they suck.
Yeah. Cripples us.
But yeah, so there's going to be some long form content coming your way, probably by both myself and Sam. Sam's going to have to learn how to speak in front of a camera.
I'm speaking right now.
You're useless at it, mate. It's but yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I think especially on the big drives. I mean, we got like 18 hours to kill, so probably going to be
drives this year we'll be doing.
Yeah, a couple drives. And so we've kind of chat about the process of becoming authors and that sort of thing as we go. But this was just a bit of an intro. I want to talk about what this channel is going to be about, the sort of content you can come to expect. But yeah, bit of fun. So subscribe, please do it.
We beg.
Yeah, well, Sam begs. I'll just threaten you. You know, I won't say specifics, but you know, just watch out. So yeah, so like button, subscribe button, all that YouTuber shit that's kind of cringe, but you know, you kind of got to do it.
They say bell, right? There's a bell there.
Yeah, do the bell. Go on, you tell them, Sam. You outro this.
Also, check out godsendsaga.com for all of the good stuff that you can't see here.
Yeah, yeah.
You want the book? Go there. You want art? Go there. You want everything else? Go there.
Yeah, good idea. All right, well, catch you all later. The next one's probably going to be as useless as this is, but hopefully you found at least some enjoyment out of it. Catch you later.